2024, 32% of cellular IoT modules shipped already supported eSIM or iSIM. Counterpoint Research predicts nearly 70% of cellular device shipments will support eSIM or iSIM by 2030.
Could you please give us some real examples? Where does eSIM really flex its muscles?
Big farms use precision agriculture gear. These are often in the middle of nowhere. You can't send someone to swap a SIM card. So with eSIM, you can flexibly switch operators and plans based on need.
Hey everyone, welcome back to IoT Simple Bites. Mia here, super pumped to be with you all again. What's up, David?
Hey Mia, hey listeners. So I'm kicking things off today, and I promise you, this topic is going to be a game changer. You're going to love it.
Oh, really? You sound convinced. Don't keep us in suspense. What's the hot gossip in the IoT world?
eSIM and SGP.32. It's basically all anyone in our circle can talk about right now.
I've heard the term eSIM tossed around. I know what a regular SIM card is, but what's the E for? Give us the 101.
You got it. In simple terms, eSIM is an embedded SIM. Remember those little plastic cards we used to pop into our phones?
Yeah, like a tiny little tile you'd almost lose.
Right. Well, eSIM is different. It's soldered right onto the device's motherboard. You can download and switch carrier profiles over the air, just with software. Imagine having millions of IoT devices scattered across the globe. You can't exactly send someone out to insert a card into each one, can you?
That sounds like a logistical nightmare. So, what's this SGP.32 thing?
SGP.32 is the new eSIM remote provisioning standard for IoT devices, released by GSMA in 2023. GSMA is the big standards body for mobile comms.
What makes this one so special compared to the old ones?
Let me tell you a little story. Think of eSIM standards like a TV drama with three main characters: SGP.02, SGP.22, and our star today, SGP.32.
Sounds like a trilogy.
Yeah. SGP.02 came out in 2014, built for M2M stuff. But it had a major flaw. Switching carriers required crazy complex integration work between the operators themselves.
How complex are we talking?
Industry folks say the development costs could run tens of thousands of dollars.
Whoa, that's a deal breaker for smaller companies.
Exactly. So many got locked in with their first carrier choice. Then came SGP.22 in 2016 for consumer gadgets like your phone or smartwatch. But it needed a user interface on the device.
And that's a problem for IoT. Why's that?
Well, it's a huge problem. A ton of IoT devices are headless. No screen, no buttons, nothing. Think of a weather sensor in the middle of nowhere or a flow monitor buried underground. How's that supposed to show you a menu to tap on?
So SGP.22 was basically a no-go for these headless gadgets.
Pretty much. That's why eSIM has been all talk for years, but its adoption in IoT has been, well, lots of thunder, not much rain. SGP.32 is the new standard built specifically for these devices.
All right, so what's SGP.32's secret sauce?
Let me break it down into three key ingredients.
Great! Hit me please, David.
Sure. First keyword, bidirectional triggering. The old standards were one-way streets. SGP.02 was push mode. The carrier pushes the profile to you. SGP.22 was pull mode. The device pulls it down. SGP.32 does both.
That's flexible. And ingredient number 2?
Lightweight. SGP.32 introduces two new components: the eIM, which is eSIM IoT Remote Manager, and the IPA, IoT Profile Assistant. Think of the eIM as your super butler in the cloud, managing all your device SIM profiles. It talks to devices using lightweight protocols, perfect for IoT gadgets with limited memory and battery.
It feels like this ecosystem is more well-rounded.
Yeah, exactly.
And the third?
Well, IP-based. SGP.32 ditches the old SMS-driven method for efficient IP protocols like COAP and DTLS, more stable, more reliable, and way friendlier for low-power devices.
I heard the CTO of Telenor IoT was pretty hyped about it, calling it the next phase for IoT.
Yep, their product manager also said SGP.32 aims for higher flexibility, is easier for customers to manage, and slashes integration work.
Well, we've gone through all that tech stuff, so how hot is the eSIM market really?
Let me hit you with some numbers. According to IoT Analytics, global IoT connections hit 18.6 billion by the end of 2024, growing 12% year over year. They project it'll skyrocket to 39 billion by 2030.
Whoa, 39 billion! That's mind-blowing!
Yeah. Cellular IoT is growing even faster, at a 15% CAGR, beating the overall IoT market's 14%. By end of 2024, cellular made up 22% of all IoT connections, about 4.1 billion.
So nearly a quarter of IoT devices are on cellular. What about eSIM adoption?
In 2024, 32% of cellular IoT modules shipped already supported eSIM or iSIM. Counterpoint Research predicts nearly 70% of cellular device shipments will support eSIM or iSIM by 2030. From 2024 to 2030, that's a 22% CAGR.
22%! That's rocket fuel growth.
Exactly. With SGP.32's official launch and rollout, this market is shifting into high gear.
Quick question. What's the deal between eSIM and communication modules?
They're like peanut butter and jelly, a golden partnership. The comms module is the communication brain of an IoT device. All the major module makers are now on the eSIM bandwagon.
How does that work?
They're rolling out 5G and LTE modules with built-in eSIM capabilities. That means the module itself has eSIM baked in. Device makers don't need to source separate SIM cards. Multi-operator switching happens right inside the module.
That's incredibly convenient for device manufacturers.
And SGP32's architecture, especially the eIM and IPA design, fits perfectly with module integration. Before, supporting multi-operator switching required tons of custom work. Now, with SGP32, a module just follows the standard protocol and can connect to any standards-compliant eIM.
So standardization through SGP.32 drastically cuts development costs for module makers.
Bingo! And for device makers, choosing an SGP.32 ready module is like choosing a future-proof solution. Use operator A today, think operator B is better tomorrow? Switch over the air. No need to send a technician to physically swap a card.
For devices in remote locations, that feature is a lifesaver.
Totally. If a device is in the desert or at some remote industrial site, sending someone out might cost more than the device itself. So the eSIM plus comms module combo is a real cost-cutting, efficiency-boosting powerhouse.
Excellent! David, I've also heard whispers about something called iSIM. So could you please explain it for us?
iSIM. That's the final form in SIM evolution. An eSIM is a dedicated chip soldered to the board. An iSIM integrates the SIM function directly into the device's main SoC.
Let me guess. It's like merging the CPU and the SIM card into one?
Basically. First, it's tinier. Traditional SIM slots and eSIM chips take up PCB real estate. With iSIM, that space just vanishes. A dream feature for super slim devices like smartwatches or asset trackers.
That's great. Second,
lower power. No need for a separate chip to drive the SIM function, so overall power draw drops. For battery-powered IoT devices that might run for a year on a charge, this is critical.
very impressive. And third,
Potentially lower cost. While R&D investment is high, the per-unit cost at scale could be lower than a separate eSIM chip. Experts from Keegan point out that SGP.32 and SGP.42 will greatly accelerate iSIM adoption.
wait, SGP.42 is?
That's the spec for factory provisioning. It lets devices ship preloaded with a connectivity profile, ready to connect out of the box. SGP.42 handles the birth. SGP.32 handles the growth.
All right, and how's the security with eSIM and SGP.32?
Security was a top priority in SGP.32's design. First, eSIM and iSIM have physical security. They're soldered on or integrated into the chip. Want to remove it physically? You'd have to dismantle the whole device.
For outdoor unattended devices, that's huge.
Yeah, exactly. And second, the SGP.32 environment requires high-grade encryption. All profile transfers are encrypted, and the EUICC itself is a certified secure element.
Compared to the old standards?
SGP.32 reduces integration points with external systems. Before, switching carriers meant connecting to several third-party systems. More connection points mean more potential security holes. Standardizing the process cuts out these middlemen, boosting security.
Very impressive. And I've heard this permanent roaming ban is a big deal?
It's a major driver for eSIM and SGP.32 adoption. Most countries have rules against long-term use of non-local carrier networks, usually capped between 90 to 180 days.
Why is roaming banned?
In mainly regulatory and commercial reasons. Operators pay big bucks for local spectrum, and governments want them serving local users. For your average phone user, it's no big deal. Just swap the SIM. For IoT devices, it's a disaster.
I can imagine. Devices deployed overseas getting cut off if forced to switch.
Exactly. With eSIM, a device can remotely switch to another local operator's profile before the roaming limit kicks in. The whole process happens remotely, and the device is none the wiser.
So eSIM doesn't just make connecting easier, it makes it more compliant.
Exactly. James Blackman from RCR Wireless pointed out that permanent roaming bans are a key growth driver for the eSIM market. Giants like BMW or Apple could once shoulder the high cost of carrier switching, but now it's a legal necessity for all IoT device makers.
Well, thanks for sharing all these theories, David, but could you please give us some real examples? Where does eSIM really flex its muscles?
Absolutely. First up, cars. Modern vehicles are packed with connected features: navigation, streaming music, remote diagnostics, OTA updates, all needing cellular.
And there's eCall for emergencies, mandatory in the EU.
Right, and SGP.32 version 2 will support multiple enabled profiles, which is perfect for cars. A vehicle might need separate network services for infotainment, remote diagnostics, and eCall. Before, that might mean 3 SIMs. Now, 1 eSIM can do it all.
Helps a lot. Then scenario 2?
Smart farming. Big farms use precision agriculture gear, soil sensors, weather stations, smart irrigation. These are often in the middle of nowhere. You can't send someone to swap a SIM card. Farming is seasonal, so with eSIM, you can flexibly switch operators and plans based on need.
Great. Well done. Scenario 3?
Logistics tracking. Many companies use cellular IoT to track shipping containers, trucks, even individual packages.
Cross-border logistics must need this desperately.
You bet. A cargo ship leaves China, passes through Southeast Asia, the Middle East, Europe, with thousands of containers on board, each with a tracker. Before, switching operators meant manual work in port. With eSIM, the switch can happen remotely while at sea, so the network is ready when the ship docks.
That's incredibly practical.
Yeah, and don't forget smart cities. Smart streetlights, parking sensors, environmental monitors, massive numbers, widespread, costly to maintain. With eSIM, you get true zero-touch deployment. Install the device, it connects automatically, managed from a central system.
Sounds awesome. I can definitely imagine that. As amazing as SGP.32 sounds, the road isn't completely smooth, is it?
Haha, you got me.
Just lay out the concerns, David.
Well, first challenge, interoperability. Even though SGP.32 is a standard, different vendors' eIM and SM-DP+ implementations can vary. My advice? Pick solution providers with GSMA certification.
Noted. Second challenge?
Network complexity. SGP.32 uses IP, but not all networks are created equal. Some areas might only have NB-IoT or LTE Cat 1 bis coverage, not 4G or 5G. This ties into module selection. Different applications need different network types.
Like low-power sensors in a smart city would be perfect for NB-IoT?
Spot on. NB-IoT has wide coverage, low power, great penetration. Ideal for battery-powered devices sending small data packets. LTE Cat 1 bis fits applications needing some bandwidth, but are cost-sensitive.
You nailed it, David. Very comprehensive. Then challenge number 3?
Yeah, carrier support. Not all operators have upgraded their systems for SGP.32 yet.
But the whole industry is moving that way. I'm sure more carriers will get on board.
Absolutely, it's inevitable.
So, what's your prediction for the next few years?
First, eSIM penetration will keep growing fast, likely crossing 50%.
You can't stop this wave.
Yeah, exactly. And second, iSIM will become more common, especially as 5G RedCap and NB-IoT chips mature, making integrated SIM the norm.
Okay. What's the third one?
Third, the auto industry will be the locomotive pulling eSIM adoption. And finally, post-quantum security will be the next big frontier for SIM tech.
Thanks, David, for your prediction. Any final practical advice for our listeners?
First piece of advice, future-proof your choices. When picking a comms module or eSIM solution now, make sure it supports SGP.32 and SGP.42.
Like buying a 5G phone today?
Exactly. Second, prioritize security certification. eSIM handles mission-critical connectivity. Security can't be an afterthought.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. Third?
Mind the ecosystem. SGP.32's power is in standardization, but real-world deployment needs smooth coordination between eIM, SM-DP+, carriers, etc.
Got it. That's thorough. Anything else?
Don't rush to ditch old standards. SGP.32 is great, but there are tons of legacy devices using SGP.02 and SGP.22. An ideal connectivity management platform should support both old and new for a smooth transition.
David, this has been incredibly insightful. Can you sum up SGP.32's impact on IoT in one sentence?
You know I got this.
Yeah, of course.
SGP.32 is the final puzzle piece for mass eSIM deployment in IoT. It solves the 3 big headaches: technical fragmentation, integration complexity, and regulatory compliance, making IoT connectivity truly flexible, scalable, and secure. Let me put it another way. SGP.32 lets IoT devices switch network operators as easily as we change clothes, without having to get undressed.
Perfect. Thanks for the awesome chat, David.
Thanks for having me, Mia.
All right, folks, that's all for this episode of IoT Simple Bites. Catch you next time.
Bye, everyone.